Okay everybody, in today's video we're going to be looking at the US Model 1898 Krag Jorgensen. And this was the US' first smokeless powder rifle was the Krag Jorgensen. It was originally adopted in 1892 with the Model 1892 being adopted, but it really wasn't fully tested when they first adopted it. So there were a number of things that needed to be improved on the original 1892 rifles. So one was the sights, the safety and magazine cutoff, and also the butt plate. On the original one, they had a fully squared off flat butt plate, but the problem with that was it easily cracked. So they made a number of changes with it, and went to the 1896 Krag rifle, and then eventually the 1898 like we have here today. Now the 1898 did not actually see any service during the Spanish-American War. It was delayed in production because of the war, so it did not actually see any service there, but the 1892s and 1896s did, but those are quite rare today to find. And it's chambered in 30-40 Krag, the caliber that this is in. It's sort of like a 303 British or 30-30 Winchester, similar to one of those. And I guess we'll basically just take you through the features of the rifle. So this uses the Krag Jorgensen action, cock on open bolt, and it has a 2-position flag safety. This position's fire, this position's safe. When it's safe, it locks the bolt. And one of the additions they made to this rifle is that when the rifle is decocked, you can put it on safe. So that was one of the problems they had with the original 1892, was soldiers kept on trying to put it on safe while it was decocked, and they would just break their safeties. And this rifle also has a magazine cutoff. Right now, it is in the off position, and you flip it up, and then the magazine's on, and you can feed rounds. And the magazine on this is quite a funky design. You open up this side door, and then you just basically toss your ammo into the door, and then close it, and then it starts feeding rounds. And this is one of the few rifles that was made to where you can top off your magazine while you have a round in the chamber. You can open up and top off your magazine without having to open your bolt. And on this rifle we have what is often called the Buffington sight, and there were a lot of disagreements about the sights on these rifles. Some people liked the earlier Dixon sights, some people liked the Buffington, and it basically just went back and forth until after the 1903 Springfield was adopted, where it would eventually settle on the Buffington sight. And it's underslung, and you have a stacking swivel up here, your bayonet lug, front post. It is not windage adjustable, but your rear sight is. And we have one of the bayonets here that goes on it. Fix that onto the rifle. And the bayonet is based on the Swiss Model 1889 bayonets, because that's what they found in Europe that was functional and reliable as a bayonet. And yeah, these rifles would be replaced by the 1903 Springfield and would actually see some service in World War I. They were sent up with artillery crews who they didn't want having 1903s because they wanted those to all be on the front lines. And these would also see some use with the Navy and other people that didn't need 1903s or 1917s during World War I. And yeah, after that these would be surplused and became a lot of people's first ever smokeless powder rifles, so you'll often find these sporterized. and also a lot of them will be corroded because people at the time didn't understand corrosive primers in rifles, and they heard smokeless powder and just figured that they can shoot any of this ammo and not have to clean it, compared to black powder, which with corrosive ammo you still do definitely need to clean these guns. And yeah, that's about all I'm going to say about it, so let's get into shooting it some. Alright, we're going to start out with 5 rounds done at 100 yards. The Krag's a bit difficult gun to load as far as doing it quickly, because you just kind of have to dump all your rounds in there and hope they line up right. But one of the good things about this system is it is not prone to rim lock very easily, so you don't really have to worry about that. One in the chamber. And we're going to start it out on the 100-yard U-notch setting, and depending on where this hits, we may try out the Peep sight later on. Oh, looks like we didn't pick up a round. Well, maybe what I said about rim lock wasn't true. And that's all of them. Alright, here's our group at 100 yards, and it's fairly wide down here and to the left, but I'm not the biggest fan of the U-notch sight, so we'll switch to the Peep and see what we can get with that. But decent group. Alright, we're going to load up another 5 rounds here at 100 yards. We're going to try to load these up and be conscious of the rims this time, what they're doing. Alright. And we're going to be using the Peep sight this time on the ladder. That's all of them. Alright, here's our next group. And these 4 are all in a nice tight group. This one's a flyer. I think that's just for me. It's gonna cold today, and I can't really feel my fingers, so I think I'm flinching a little bit more than usual. But that's our group. Pretty good one. Alright, we're going to fire another 5 rounds at 100 yards. And this rifle has one of the smoothest actions I've ever seen on a military rifle. It just, cycling it without ammo in it is the exact same as cycling it with ammo, as far as the feeling of it. That's all of them. Alright, here's our group. We got 4 on the plate and 1 just off. It looks like we've got it pretty well aligned for elevation. This is a really nice shooting gun. Alright, looks like we're out of ammo. So we'll put it on safe and do a bayonet charge. Well, that solved the problem. Alright, that's going to be it for the video. We had a lot of fun with the 1898 Krag Jorgensen. And this is a very cool and interesting rifle. A really cool piece of U.S. history. This is the first smokeless powder rifle adopted by the U.S. military. And it's just a really great and fun rifle to shoot. Glad we were able to get one that still has a good bore on it and has a lot of life left in it. So, yeah, if you want to see any more out of this rifle, let us know in the comments, and we'll catch you in the next one.